Everton, just that little break, can always get back into the game, and up to now Liverpool should be more than that 1 goal ahead, but it is still very sort of tightly balanced, and one little mistake could cost them dear.
Yes, many is the Merseyside derby that's finished in a draw. Barnes' header to Aldridge. The teams drew here in the League Cup final a few years ago, in their first ever all-Merseyside Wembley meeting. Here's Hansen, one of the survivors of that. Well played. Nicol. In again to Houghton, who's always threatening. Barnes is a long way away on the left, but he's the freest player. Well found. Brings Southall down to the near post. Good distribution by Ray Houghton there, and John Aldridge waiting on the 6-yard line. Liverpool don't put many players in there for corners. Prefer to play it short and pick up the passing game again. Barnes. Houghton. Offside, Barnes. Now, Houghton delivered that quite beautifully, and Barnes was perfectly ready here with his left foot. It was slightly deflected off the defender anyway, which made it an even better save. McMahon, Stephen. It's promising. So's this, Van den Hauwe. Houghton couldn't get a tackle in. It's Van den Hauwe again. Nevin's there now. Stephen had a shot. It was blocked by Ablett. Here's McCall. And now McDonald. And McMahon. Liverpool are being pushed back a bit, Trevor.
They're being pushed back, but the quality of the crosses has been poor. I mean, both fullbacks, Pat Van den Hauwe and Neil McDonald, have had 3 or 4 occasions in the last 3 or 4 minutes when if they'd have put a good quality cross in, Liverpool might have been in trouble, but it's been cut out halfway across, and unless they get the quality balls in. Kenny Dalglish here, obviously deciding Liverpool do need a G-up.
Yes, the goal scorer is going off. John Aldridge applauded. Going off this year in rather different circumstances to last time round against Wimbledon, because this time his team are a goal up. And a big reception for the fellow who scored 2 goals in this Merseyside FA Cup final 3 years ago. Kenny Dalglish congratulates his goal scorer today, but Ian Rush back from Juventus and now back at Wembley. It's got about 18 minutes, unless there's extra time, of course, which is what Everton are trying to achieve. Sharp. Now the pace of Rush may trouble Watson and Ratcliffe. This is Barnes. Ratcliffe was covering behind Watson, who intercepted. He saw Rush make his run. Old adversaries, of course. Sharp. Tricks Ablett. Cover from Whelan. Goal kick. What about Ian Rush then, Trevor?
Well, as you say, he's not a bad substitute to bring on, is he? But, I mean, I think he will admit, what with illness and injury, he's never, as yet, recaptured the form of when he departed to Juventus, and I'm sure nothing more he'd love than just get on the score sheet. We remember that 1986 Cup final when he scored 2 against Everton, and who knows what he'll do in the next quarter of an hour.
This is McMahon. You can see Kenny Dalglish, hands in pockets, patrolling anxiously along that touchline area, or not touchline, but where the bench is. As he realises that Liverpool still need the second goal to lock this cup final up. This is Whelan. Houghton. and they wouldn't particularly want to go to extra time. 2 league matches still to come in their quest for the championship. Staunton, and that wasn't very decisive. This is Nevin. The chance is still here for Everton. McCall. Stephen lost his boot in that melee, but this is Gary Ablett, and he needs to be careful here with Potty. Good pass. Houghton. Now Rush has made a run right to left, and there he goes, but McDonald saw him coming. .15 minutes to go in the second half. Liverpool 1, Everton 0. I used to say Liverpool comes strong in the last 15 minutes of a game. Well, it's Everton who must achieve that today to force extra time. Neil McDonald was injured there, Trevor, in that challenge on Ian Rush.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if he gets up okay, because I've got a feeling Kevin Sheedy, who was doubtful earlier in the week, might well be replaced by Ian Wilson. Ian Wilson is wide left midfield player. He scored in the last league game on Monday night, and I think with this weather as it is, it's well worth bringing on that extra pair of fresh legs in this last quarter now. They need a lift, as Colin Harvey is suggesting on the bench there, and I would think Kevin Sheedy would be the one to come off, but of course he's also very aware that right back Neil McDonald has just taken a knock, so wait a couple of minutes, see what happens there before perhaps bringing Ian Wilson on for Sheedy.
Nevin back to McDonald, in fact. Now McMahon doing some defensive duty. Ian Rush there is still tied with Dixie Dean on the 19 goals in Merseyside derbies. Once scored 4, I remember, against Everton in one match, Ian Rush. But he wants one just to pip Dixie, which would make him something of a legend on Merseyside, as his predecessor was. There's Gary Ablett. And this time it's a foul against Rush, and Dave Watson will appreciate the chance to go forward. But Everton are going to make their second substitution. Trevor Brooking absolutely spot on. Kevin Sheedy is the player going off. And we have a Wembley first here. Ian Wilson, the former Leicester player, has never played here before. Wearing 12. Nevin. Staunton. The crowd appealed. Referee wasn't interested. Barnes trying to win it back for Liverpool, and he didn't quite make that. And all the red shirts have had to come back. Everton are pressing forward again, aiming at Watson, who might be spending more and more time up there now. Nickel for Liverpool. Vanden Houw. Just a little nip at Nickel there as the ball went away. Linesman saw it, actually. Joe Worrell hasn't had to deal with too much in the way of untoward tackling. And he's just giving it the calm down to Pat Vanden Houw. Got about 12 minutes to go here. In the second half anyway. Everton hoping to force extra time on a tiring afternoon in temperature still in the 80s. And driven forward by Nickel, but it'll only be a present really to Dave Watson. Rush wasn't right up there. Now, Sharp can win that. Only as far as Ablett. Whelan, good pass. Houghton. Wondering where Barnes was, but he was a bit too close. This is Staunton. understand the official crowd figure will be given as 82,800. Possibly means a few of the boxes are not full. Certainly all the fans' tickets were snapped up. The fan who likes to stand or sit in the usual seats. This is Barnes. Oh, Houghton was not able to get the touch that mattered there. McMahon again, full of industry still. Good touch by Beardsley. McMahon's work rate is quite prolific. Houghton to Rush, cut out by Ratcliffe.
Great run by Ian Rush there, a bit harder, and he had again broken the offside trap of Everton, and they'd have been skinned.
Houghton again. I've got to say that Houghton's played awfully well for Liverpool. One of the players who's really caught the eye today. Former West Ham, Fulham and Oxford player. Now McCall finds Sharp, but this match is not over yet. Everton have still got opportunity, especially if Liverpool show signs of tiring. We're into the last 10 minutes, mind you. This is Stephen. McCall. And it might work for Sharp.
Well, one of the few occasions when Everton midfield player has played a positive forward ball, and there he is, clipped it through, and Graham Sharp, not realising perhaps he had quite that space, and perhaps a flicked header towards the far post might have been better, but Bruce Grobbelaar, as usual, looking very casual, it came towards him.
Liverpool, who beat Everton 3-1 in the final here in 1986 when they completed the double, lead their Merseyside rivals 1-0 here today as they attempt the first leg of the double. Fans see it coming a little bit closer with about 8 minutes to go. Nevin. Stephen. Chances here. McCall's there. And Grobbelaar wasn't sure. And it was Ian Wilson who got closest to the loose ball. The two subs were both involved in there. Grobbelaar had an escape. Not for the first time. Offside.
Just shows you the difference by getting the cross in from the byline makes, because it's whipped in, comes from that different angle, and it caused all sorts of problems for the defence. That's the first time so far they've managed to get to the byline.
And it was Stephen, really, wasn't it? Watson's up there with Sharp. That was Watson. And Liverpool has stretched. It's Van den Hauwe. Back in again. Sharp's up there. Danger. Nevin! If he'd made contact there, it would possibly have been 1-1.
I think that's what you call handbags from 7 yards, yeah? This was the earlier cross. Trevor Stephen whips it in, and the hand going up from Stuart McCall just put Bruce Grobbelaar off, but it was a very good quality cross.
Well, these are anxious moments for Liverpool. They are holding their lead, but there are signs that Everton are going to come with quite a storming rush in the last few minutes. Colin Hardy would expect that at the